What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another business breakthrough. I sit down with Dario Amato of Amato Home Design, and the big breakthrough that needs to occur in this episode is helping him have the confidence to quit his bank job and go into his home service business full time. So we talk about a lot of principles that he needs to put in place in order to confidently do that, and of course take that leap and provide what he believes to be a better life for his family, more income, more freedom, all the great things that come with owning a business. So this was an awesome business breakthrough session. Enjoy. The big question you need to ask yourself every day is, do I own a job or do I own a business? And unfortunately, the majority of contractors out there own a job. That's right, they're a slave to their own business. But the other side of the fence is so much greener, it's so much better, and that's when you're finally fully in control of your destiny, your freedom, your time. And that's what Contractor Secrets is about. It's about taking back our time, building a business with systems, standards, values, procedures, putting yourself in the driver's seat. And that's what it's about. So I'm excited. I'm happy to have you here. Let's dive into the Contractor Secrets podcast. What's going on, everyone? Welcome to the Business Breakthrough. I'm here with my friend Dario with Amato Home Design, and we're just going to go right for it, man. Whenever I start this out, really, I just kind of want to get a feel for what your business looks like right now. You just told me that you're working a full-time job?
Yeah, full-time.
Full-time job and managing a business. What's that look like in your life right now, man? First, tell me what you do full-time, and tell me how you're managing your business.
Yeah, so right now, I work for Citibank. Like an
Nice.
officer. I'm like the liaison between the clients and the company. So that keeps me busy day to day.
Okay.
My fiance is actually in nursing school full time, and I have a little
Wow.
girl.
Wow.
So I'm supporting all of us right now. So it's time to kick the business off in full drive.
Got to.
Yeah. So I actually just got my business license in
Congrats.
July of 2020.
Yeah.
Um, I was doing like little odds and end things for my friends and stuff, and more people were asking me to do stuff for them. So I went ahead and
Right.
started to get my license and actually pulled my like numbers. And I mean, for doing it like part time, it was pretty good. Like gross
Yeah.
like 35,000
Nice.
just in the year of
Great.
2020. So I'm just
Congrats on
trying to
that.
learn more. Yeah, it's definitely a challenge. So trying to figure it
Yeah.
out and manage a
So I
full
don't know
time
if you know
job.
this about me, but I do have a banking background. I used to be a loan officer. You're a loan officer, right? Kind of like a
Uh,
member services type role.
Kinda, yeah.
Yeah. So great experience, man. It's good to, get the financial end of things. Do you help people set up their businesses and stuff? Like if they want to open up a business account or anything like that?
Now, like the relationship managers do that once they have an account. If they're at a certain tier, they get a dedicated
Gotcha.
officer, and so
Yeah.
I'm their person. Anytime they need anything, they come to me.
Gotcha. So what is your commitment in terms of like work? Like what is your what does your schedule look like Monday through Friday?
Yeah, Monday through Friday, I work 9 to 6, and then
Wow.
one day a month, I have to work 11 to 8. So I'm
That's a
doing my
hustle,
side
dude.
business, yeah, on
Yeah.
nights
Okay.
after 6 and weekends.
So your nights after 6 and your weekends, you are what? Painting houses, right?
Yeah, a little bit of everything,
A little bit
painting,
of everything.
floors.
And you're actually the one doing it, right?
Yeah, I have a couple guys that couple buddies that are kind of into it that work for me.
Okay.
But I haven't really, that's why I'm trying to get to that next step where I can bring on someone and he can be like my go-to
He can
person
be
and
your
I can
go-to
rely on
person.
him. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And I'm just trying to get a feel for this. So, how do your customers like the late nights and the weekends? Can you
So
feel that
usually
it's a
when
little uncomfortable?
yeah, I mean, when I go to meet them in person, after we talk and I get a feel for everything, I just tell them like, listen, this is my situation. Um, this is what I
Honest.
do.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I can come at these times on the weekends if it's an urgent project. I have people I can recommend to you, but this is what I can do for you guys. And if this works for you, I'll put all my
But
best
usually
forward till we get it done.
you have to overcompensate in most cases with a lower price, right? You do come in kind of low, right? You're not like shooting for the moon on these because you
Yeah, if it's something I know I can do if it's a painting job that I know will get done in 2 days or a
yeah.
day, I'm not gonna I'm gonna
Yeah.
charge them what they would be
Gotcha.
charged
Gotcha. Okay,
normally.
good. Good to know. Okay. So kind of just want to figure out the first approach to this. And now I'm looking at your situation. You got a young baby. Just, we have a very similar story, man. I have a young baby as well, banking background, but I made the decision to jump ship when I started my business when I was single.
Mhm.
And then actually a month after I met my wife. So for me, I kind of just want to understand a little bit about what your greatest, like, when you think of like jumping ship, are you what fears do you have about that, if any? Because I assume that there's some sort of hesitation knowing that you're the breadwinner right now.
Mhm.
This is a secure job. There's probably some benefits, right, with your company.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you're gonna have to give that up. So there's a couple things that are kind of scary for a young father who's the only one supporting the whole family, right? I mean, this
Yeah.
is this is one of the biggest hurdles for you. So what are your thoughts on that? Like,
Yeah, that's my like my fiance says as soon as she's done, she has a year left, and she's like, "Go do it." Like just make the commitment and go full time. Like my thing would just be right now is just
you want to do it
supporting
now?
them. Yeah. Like I
And
want to
you
be
okay? So here's the thing, man. It's like you have to first understand what game you're playing and who you're playing against, right? Like
mhm.
you're presentable. You have nice branding. You probably come across very trustworthy just from the 10 minutes I've met you. You come across very trustworthy, very professional, just kind of how you walked me through how you communicate with your customers. Like there's a certain point in time where you have got to bet on your own abilities, right? You've
Yeah.
seen that this works, right? You may be doing like 1 to 2 estimates a week, right? And you're seeing that you're closing one of those jobs. Maybe you have a 50% closing rate and you're turning that into money. Okay. This business is a proportional business, right? The more estimates you do, the more sales you make. It's very simple. So, with you being occupied 80% of your week from 9 to 6, 8 to 11, you just miss out on, I call it opportunity costs, right? That's an opportunity cost. Whatever they're
Yeah.
paying you hourly at Citibank, okay, which I'm just going to assume is around 20 bucks an hour or maybe around there if there's not bonuses, maybe a little less. In any case, it's nothing that like what you're going to make as a business owner, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, right. So with that being said, the opportunity cost is okay, I'm trading my time right now at Citibank for whatever they're paying me when I know that all I have to do is sell one job during the week. If I just focus my entire attention on selling one job throughout the week, you'll make double of it, right?
That's what's hard for me right now cuz I mean, I make good money there, but
Okay.
I can depending like this job I'm finishing up this week, I have about when it's all said and done, I'll probably 42 hours in there, but I'll make more than what I have 80 hours at the bank.
Right. And so you're at this rate, you're double in your own business as your own
Yeah.
boss on your own time than you are working for somebody else building their business.
Yeah.
There's a certain hunger that you're going to have as a father and supporting your wife that not many people have because ultimately you're burning the ships, right? You're the person that's saying, you know what? I have no choice but to succeed. And that right there is what's going to catapult you to success. It's inevitable if you just stay focused, but
Mhm.
my thing is that you got to have a plan in place. Like and that's what I want to talk to you about. I think that's where we need to get in. It's like, I'm going to treat you like you have nothing. And I'm going to treat you right now like you need a structure for how you're going to approach marketing. That's acquisition, how you're going to approach sales, that's conversion, and how you're going to approach production, that's obviously fulfillment. So let's talk real quick about marketing. Right, marketing is getting your name out there. Amato's home design, right? When you think about, like, let's say you quit your job right now, right? You know that you're going to have to find a job, and essentially what you're doing every day is you're applying for jobs every single day with a customer, right? So, how would you get your name out there, and what would be your first move to acquire a customer? If you quit right now, if we just got your boss on the phone, it's not working out, you got to start Amato's home design. What's your first move?
Um, so I think I mean, one thing I did do for when I was an intern in college, I ran like the Facebook page for sports clips,
Okay,
and
nice.
I did the advertising, and it was cheap to have like sponsored advertising
Right.
every day.
Yep.
So That would be one thing.
Okay.
Other than
I
that,
like that answer, but I want to let's dive into marketing real quick. So when you think of marketing for trades, there's different types of traffic sources. So you just named
mhm,
Facebook, that's a traffic source, and you have different types of leads that go into that traffic source, right? So let me give you an example. If you're advertising on Facebook, understand what those people who are driving on Facebook, we're just using the analogy of traffic, understand what they're actually doing there to be on that highway. They're not going anywhere. They're there leisurely looking at pictures, looking at memes, looking at their family and their friends and videos and relaxing, right? So if you're focusing your attention on Facebook, the
mhm,
acquisition of a ready to go lead is a lot less than it would be if somebody's actively searching for your good or service. Look, Facebook leads are great, but they take longer to nurture because number one, what is Facebook about? Building connections and building relationships. When
mhm,
I look for a service, I'm not going to Facebook to find it, but if Facebook hears me talking about it, which they do usually, but
yeah,
the reality situation is that if I see it, then it's like, okay, well, I'm already in the market for it, or I will be in the future. Let me message this company. Let me do something there, right? So in terms of the first thing that you should do if your
mhm,
family is counting on you and you need a job, Facebook leads take too long. It's a great
okay,
long-term strategy, but they just take too long, right? It takes too long to convert somebody from a Facebook lead to a sale. You need work this week,
yeah,
right? All right. So the next thing we'll talk about is Google. Okay. I'm just going to do the big ones here, right? So Google, a little bit shorter of an acquisition time in comparison to Facebook. These leads are interested in painting. I'm going to use painting,
mhm,
interested in painting, and they're seeking your service, right? So they made it up in their mind, you know what? I need to get this house painted or I want to get this house painted. Let's see who's out there. Okay. Now we know about Google. I'm sure you do. There's a couple different areas that your name could pop up. The first is you could just pay to play, right? So you pay money to be at the top, and that is a paid ad. That's the little green thing that you see as ad. Underneath that, it's the map pack, right? The map pack is 100%, I would say 100% dependent, a large majority on your reviews. Okay. Right now, you don't really have many, so people won't be able to find you there yet. Do you have any
mhm.
Google? Do you have a Google listing? Any Google reviews yet?
No, not yet.
All right, so let's make that a major focus within the next couple of days is we got to get you a Google presence because in the meantime, even if you don't quit your job right away, we can still get some reviews. And I tell people this all the time, get character reviews from your friends. Don't make them lie about the nursery you painted when you didn't do it. Just tell them the right good things about you as a person. And that is good enough as a review. It's a character review. I just want to write a character review about Dario. He's a great guy. I know that if his name is behind this company, it's going to be successful. If you hire him, he's just a good person. I know he'll do right by you, right? Reach out to old customers. You want to get as many Google reviews as possible every day. Like anytime you do a customer job, you want to get Google reviews. Okay. So let's continue. We have the SEO. SEO is getting ranked organically. Hard to compete with, right? Because if you look up painter in your area, look and see who's the top SEO. And these are massive lead generation companies that spend millions and millions of dollars on trying to get ranked and have backlinks out the wazoo all across the internet, right? So SEO is a good strategy long term, bigger company wanting to kind of get into that flow, not something that you should do right now. Okay, so what's that leave us? I mean, you could go knock on doors, right? But that's going to take
Yeah,
too long, and you and I both know you're not going to do that. You could go and hand out business cards to everyone you see. Coronavirus might rub people the wrong way. So what's left? I mean, you need work tomorrow, okay? And this is my startup strategy. This is how I built my business into $1 million company.
okay,
Home Advisor, Angie's List, Thumbtack, Craftjack, anything that customers go to, commit to, and say, I'm ready for a quote for this specific service. We're in a time right now where it's normal for somebody to, before, remember, we couldn't even put our first name on the internet. You're old enough to remember, we're about the same age. It was weird, right? Now people are shooting their address, their email, their phone number. Call me, come over, text me. I need this job done, right? It's like the Uber for house painting services, right? So if you need a ride somewhere, what are you going to do? Call a friend? No. You're going to walk? No. You're going to go ask people on Facebook if somebody can come pick you up? No. What do? You go to Uber so you can get to your destination quicker. That is what you need to do as a contractor. On the other side is you need to get to your destination quicker, which is to generate income. Home Advisor, okay? Getting a reputation on there, getting signed up for it. Now, you're going to hear a lot of backlash about Home Advisor. Don't Google them. You'll hear every negative thing that any contractor that doesn't know how to sell, it gets frustrated with. And I have a feeling that you have good sales, knowledge, people, you've worked with people, you're in banking. So I'm not going to sit here and talk to you about how to, convince somebody to do an estimate with you. But you have to understand that there's different levels of, I would say need, and those levels of need can be found in the different leads sources that I'm showing you here. So remember, like, Facebook is not really a good strategy for getting off the ground right away. That's a long-term strategy for consistent branding. So right now, for my company, we have a retargeting ad that's out every single day. We pay X amount per day, and it's just there. If anyone visits our website, they're going to see it on their feed, and it's just hammering, 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 hammering. Eventually, they see it so much. Okay, I'm finally ready to message them, to either tell them I hate them or I'm going to get a quote from them, right? Google, we've built that reputation for years. So now we're the top company when they search for a painting contractor in our area. We still use Home Advisor to supplement these things. So that would be my first strategy. Do you have any questions on that strategy?
No, I think the only thing that kind of like, I guess, is because like sometimes depending on the work, like even now it's hard for me to keep up for the amount of work that's coming in because
Okay.
I don't I'm struggling with like finding someone that I can rely on, also someone that is willing to just work these hours that I'm working.
Right. So I'm talking to you as if you're going to make the leap, because at the
Yeah.
end of the day, dude, I'm just coming from my heart here, man. You've got to trust in your ability that
Yeah.
if this does fail, bro, you're the type of person that isn't going to let your ship sink with your family. At the
Yeah.
very least, you're going to be able to find something else because you trust in your own skills, ability. But you got one shot here where you have some momentum. The longer you delay this, the depreciation occurs of your motivation. You're going to doubt yourself. More things are going to occur. Your family's going to grow, and it's going to be harder and harder and harder and harder and harder to release yourself. Like, and you have to understand it. Imagine this right now, dude. You're doing this 15% of your time. You're probably texting customers under the desk at Citibank trying to manage this stuff, right?
Yeah.
You don't have to admit. I don't think they listen to my podcast, but you know what I mean. Um, but the reality of the situation is, imagine if all your time, energy, and focus was 100% on your company, dude. I mean, it's inevitable. The success is inevitable. And right now you're
Yeah.
telling me that you're too busy to keep up with the demand. And reality situation is you're not going to find a reliable person to work these hours. These hours are horrible. I would hate to work
Yeah.
weekends and nights, like in a customer's house where it's not that professional, being honest with you. I mean,
Yeah.
it's kind of like, if you're wanting to compete and I come in against you and Dario is $1,000 less than me and the customer tells me, well, he's planning on doing it on the weekend. I say, well, I mean, I'm not going to bash Dario, but we could do it on the weekday with 4 guys and, you'll have your house done in 2 days. So, you know what I'm saying? So you really
Yeah.
got to try hard to win these people over. And unfortunately, you don't
Yeah.
want to come from that standpoint. A company doesn't want to come in the standpoint of, I need you more than you need me. Like, that creates desperation, and you don't want to be in that position. You don't deserve to be in that position, but right now you have to be because this is your situation. But I think you
Yeah.
tested the theory, bro. You did your business on the side. You're here. You tested the theory. It works.
Yeah.
You got to take the leap, because ultimately when you take the leap, then you become more resourceful than you could ever imagine. Your wife's counting on you, your baby's counting on you, and I'll be here to help you. I do free coaching. You jump on one of these things anytime you want. You know what I'm saying? I'll give you as much advice as I can give you. But I mean, the reality of this situation is you have to believe in yourself. You have to have a strategy and a plan. So that's where we're at right now. We're starting with marketing. You got to have a plan for acquisition. So with that being said, do you have some money saved up?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
If you were to split that money up to where half of it would be for savings to protect your family in the event that you just suck at this, okay? And
you completely fail. You can't sell anything. You don't get any leads, and you just can't do it. Do you have a little bit to float you guys for at least 2 months?
I would say probably like 6.
Perfect. Okay, so that makes me feel good about this advice I'm giving you. So you got about 6 months to go all in, right? And then if remember we split it, so that half would cover 6 months. Now that other half is what it's going to take for you to start your business. Now, painting business, dude, is one of the cheapest businesses to start. But where I want you to spend a majority of your money is buying leads. Okay. Because here's the reality of it. And this is something I want to break down for you so you get this principle. And this is, I assume this is the first business you've ever had. You didn't start any other business before this, right?
No, yeah,
Okay.
first one.
So one of the biggest mistakes that contractors make is they don't allocate monthly lead cost or marketing expense, right? So in other words, they take the profit and they put it in their pocket. And you're going to have to break that cycle that you've been taught your whole life. Whenever you made money, what'd you do with it? Saved it, right? It's just
Yeah.
your natural habit with money. Okay. You have to break it. You're an investor now. Like when you start your business full time, you're an investor. You're no longer an employee. You're an investor in Amato Home Decor. You're an investor in a marketing avenue, which is Home Advisor, whichever one you choose. I suggest Home Advisor. It's the quickest, most popular, the fastest, most expensive. That's why I'm talking about this. So you have to say to yourself, how much am I going to spend in a month? Now, if your leads are $50 to $75, right, which they will be, don't be surprised. They suck in terms of how expensive they are, but they're the quickest, ready to go, on the spot leads that you're going to get right now, which is going to catapult your company, right? So if you have 10 leads, right, at 75 a pop, that's $750. These are 10 people that have submitted their information, okay, that have requested the service that you offer, the exact service that you want to do, because you're going to tell Home Advisor, I want to do interior, I want to do exterior, or whatever you want to do, right?
Okay.
That's $750. 10 leads. I guarantee you're going to close at least 2 of them for way more than $750. So ultimately, even if you sell 2 jobs out of those 10 leads, you need to say to yourself, okay, I need to do that again. And you're going to get better at it and better at it and better at it. And eventually you're going to get higher ROI because you're going to get better at selling and producing the jobs. You're going to understand the flow of how you make income, you spend it on marketing, you buy paint, and you spend it on labor. And then you keep the rest, right? So investor mindset is spend first, save what's left. Employee mindset is save first, spend what's left. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
So that's a
Got it.
transition that you have to make, man, in terms of how you allocate your money. And that's why I'm saying that spend the money on Home Advisor. If they're giving you good leads, spend it and get in front of as many ready to go people as possible.
Okay. Appreciate it.
Yeah. So, hopefully that gives you a little more confidence in that direction. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because that should help. So
Yeah, that's
marketing's
what I
taken
was.
care of. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was struggling a little bit with that because it was like all pretty much like word to mouth and then just people from Facebook. So it was taking a little time, but it was good for me because I
You
still
didn't,
work full
yeah,
time.
right. That's why I'm saying we got to make that switch to something that's ready to go. I have
Yeah.
people that I got a Home Advisor lead yesterday. Hey, I need it done, in, next week. Can you give an estimate today? Like that's that, but don't do this until you're like, that's what I'm saying. You can't do this until you're available, bro. You got 6 months of income saved. The startup cost in a painting business is stupid low. And I assume you have good credit because you can't work at a bank without good credit.
Yeah, my credit's good.
Good, right? So then you would go to Sherwin-Williams. You got an account there?
Yeah.
You got a credit account or you got a
Yep.
cash account? You got a credit account?
Yep.
Okay. So you call your rep and you say, hey, how much do they give you credit? Do you know what your limit is?
They never just said, they just said,
Okay. So it's
always asked me
probably,
if I wanted.
okay, double check. It's probably like around 2,000, I think. If they do it based off what your sales are. So I'm pretty sure. Call your rep and say, hey, I want 5 grand credit. Just give you a buffer. It's 0% interest, dude. Free
Yeah.
money. It's like getting a $5,000 loan from Sherwin-Williams. Tell them your plan. Say, hey, I'm looking to go in full time. I want a $5,000 credit line on my Sherwin-Williams account, right? Go buy you a spray. You got a sprayer?
Yeah, I got a sprayer.
You already got a sprayer. So finance all your paint for the whole month, bro. So you still hold on to all your money. You understand? Like this is a strategy that if you implement, like this is eliminating that fear that's stopping you from moving forward. Because the fear right now for you is lack of money, lack of resources. You know, my family won't eat, baby won't have any diapers. You're far away from that. But I'm the type of person that let me use someone else's resources so I don't even have to think about that yet. I don't have to touch any money yet. Okay. When you sell a job right now, your only cost is the lead. Okay. Initially, finance the paint. You have 30 days to pay it off. Okay. So again, for the first 4 weeks, you're not spending $1 on paint. You're just saving that money. Like you're just stacking it in the business account, right? Then of course, the next thing would be acquiring help. Okay. So acquiring help is a totally different ball game than what you've been doing right now, because now you're full time. So you definitely want to be on the job in the beginning. Okay. You definitely want to be painting, right? The secret is, and this is what I preach, you know, to no end, is do not get comfortable there. Like don't stay there. Remember, like the way you see money is this is gonna happen. And some people can't get out of it because they can't change that pattern of thinking of the way they see money. Like for you, you remember you were save first, spend what's left. Now you're spend first. So in this regard, we're talking about spending money on labor, getting people to do the job for you. So you're going to start as the crew lead in your company, facilitating conversation with your customers, you know, managing whoever you bring alongside you to either raise them up to take your spot or to find someone that you can raise up to take your spot, and teaching them how you want them to treat the job, how you want them to communicate with customers, how you want, and getting to feel the dynamic of the individuals you bring into your team. So when you bring more people, you can say, I don't know if that personality is going to work well with him. Like go the employee route and build your team from within. It might take 4 to 5 months. You know what I'm saying? To get at least 2 quality individuals that, you know, come to work every day, do the quality standard of which you want the work to be done, all this stuff. Now, with that being said, I want to hit on this. Your team and the expectations that you set for them. Okay. So we all have high expectations. You know, it's our business. So we want quality work. Don't set them up for failure by taking anything that comes your way. That's the beauty of Home Advisor, and that marketing strategy I gave you was you can tell them, I only want interior paint jobs, 3 or more bedrooms. Okay. Don't take cabinets, too hard. Don't take epoxy or concrete coating or all this crazy staining. Stay away from it, dude. Don't take it. Stick with one thing. Whether or what I didn't even ask you, what state are you in?
I'm in Delaware.
You're in Delaware, so it's cold. So right now, interior painting, but exterior painting will be coming around the corner. Are you looking to maybe get into exterior painting at some point, or you want to stick with interior?
Yeah, I only did one, so I'm not too familiar with it. I understand the process, but
It doesn't
I would
matter.
like to, but
Eventually, but guess what? Can you be the number one interior painting company that does wall, ceiling, trims, and doors in your area? Because guess what? The other guys are probably going to take anything. So they're going to be busy taking everything. And then guess what opens up for you? More interior opportunities, right? So all you got to do is get narrowed down on your process of interior painting. Okay, this is how we do it. We use this product. We do this first, then we do this, and then we do this, and then we do this. And you're like an interior assassin. And the reason why I'm saying this is because guess what? Once you train your team to do that, then you have the ability to duplicate that process and free yourself. That's the ultimate goal here, dude, is to free yourself. Okay, 100%. You get stuck in this business, then you just traded Citibank to be an employee at Amato's Home Design. You know, yes, you're an owner too, but you're an owner employee. You know, you don't want that. It's a horrible position to be in. So in the beginning, you're going to have to balance estimates, and you're going to have to balance being on site, project managing, delegating tasks. Right off the bat, dude, you hire somebody, his responsibilities go to the paint store in the morning, pick up the paint, right? Save yourself from doing tasks all day. Have other people do them for you. That's what you're paying them for. You know, if he wants to clock in 30 minutes early for the drive, whatever, just go pick up the paint, you know? So set yourself up for success in that regard. Any questions on kind of that plan? I mean, do you see yourself doing that plan? I mean, is that something that you think is helpful?
Yeah, no, I think it's all great. It does make it is like a little nerve wracking because, like, on the other hand too, we are expecting another one come August. So it's
Great.
like now it's 3 people I'm
Yeah. And you and
taking
I
care
both
of.
know, like in August. So I mean, dude, I think you should put the 2 weeks in this week. Be honest. I mean, you
Yeah.
got to get started, bro. I mean, you have to, or else when you've been through it before. I
Yeah.
know there's not much thinking time with how the babies sleep. I
Yeah.
mean, I was up all night. I mean, it's hard, right? So thank God my business was on autopilot when I had my baby. So all I had to do was send text messages and make quick calls and maneuver some things, and that was my responsibility. So like, you got it, dude. You got to have faith. I think faith
Yeah.
plays a big part in this. I'm big into my faith, and I think that you have to dig deep here and feel that, what, this is the right move. I'm, for some reason, I jumped on with Tanner. I'm hearing this from somebody who has no clue who I am, but the things that I'm saying hopefully make sense to the point where, as long as you have a direction, you can feel confident about this. I lined you up. I identified what the biggest fear was: lack of money. Obviously, if you had $1 million, this would be an easy decision, right?
Yeah.
So we have savings for 6 months. We have, still money to pay for labor and random things. You don't need an office. You don't need a truck. If you have one, I mean, I ran my business for 6 months out of a Honda Accord. Okay. And my employee had a truck that we just threw ladders and paint in, you know, like, don't even think about trying to be fancy. Don't do nothing. Like, the greatest luxury you can give your customers is you just do a good job. They don't care how you got there. They don't care, of all the different things that we probably expect of a good company: branding, logo. They just want you to come in, do what you say you're going to do, be courteous and kind, and that's it. So everything else can be built later. Just get the system down. So with that being said, you need a marketing system, which I hopefully helped you see that the quickest way to get started is to pay for it. So the majority of that if we split your money in half, majority of the money that we're going to spend is acquiring customers so we can get more money. Right. So it's just like
Yep.
it's a recycler. That's the way I see lead generation companies. They're a recycler. I spent $1,000 on Home Advisor this week. Okay. That $1,000 is going to turn into between 60 and 70,000 of generated sales. I'll do that every week for the rest of my life if I need to. I mean, why not? It doesn't matter. But yes, do 8 of the 10 customers sometimes not answer the phone? Don't give me the time of day. Don't want to book an estimate? Yeah. But ultimately, the 2 that buy from me are the ones that are helping me see that I'm still getting a good return on investment, right? So marketing, again, we could get into sales. I don't really think that right now that's important. I'm going to leave your sales up to you. I think that, we'll get into that another time if you want, but production's next, and that's acquiring people. So, real quick, let's hit on, what's the strategy that you have, so I can kind of see if there's any holes in it of how you would find somebody to work for you.
That's why I really struggle. Like, I think about it a lot, and I kind of come
Okay.
up with a blank because I don't even know where to start.
Tell me what your concerns are. Not keeping them busy?
Yeah, well, that and just I think it's kind of like what you say. It's just like finding someone that you would allow in your own home.
Right.
Like, that's my biggest thing too. Is just they're gonna be a representation of me, and I
Yep.
can't have someone that's gonna put a bad image
So
on me. So
so I have 9 employees. I've been through, in the last 4 years, probably about 27. Okay. 3 of them were people that I wouldn't let in my home. So about 24 people were solid, good people, right? And they left for various amount of reasons. Chances are they fired themselves, did something stupid. But the people that I have now are amazing, right? We can't just have this fear about the fact that painters or people that can paint are people of low quality and low standard. I mean, the guys that I have working for me are, you wouldn't even think of them as like painters, but they love to paint, right? And that's why I'm saying is like, if you're looking for unicorns, it's going to be really hard. Like, a unicorn to me is somebody that can spray cabinets, do staining, faux finishing, all this crazy stuff that I want no part of. I'm trying to build a system, right? So, number one, I don't need to find expert level painters. I need to find, if you can paint whatever you can paint, you're not an expert level painter, right? Are you? I don't
no,
want to be
I wouldn't say so.
disrespectful, but I'm not
No,
either.
no,
I'm
no.
I'm I'm 6 out of 10. I can do it. I can cut a straight line. My mind works too fast, so it's hard for me to sit there. You know, I'm just always thinking about, like, the estimates and stuff. So for me, like, I'm 6 out of 10. But if I find a 9 out of 10, right, and then I create a system that creates consistency in our product, which I like to use tape on everything. because I don't need somebody that's been painting for 20 years to cut a straight line. See that door frame behind you right there? I don't need somebody to run a straight line on that. I would put a piece of tape on that, caulk it, paint it, and it's straighter than he could do it 85 times. Doesn't matter. It would be straighter. So the system protects the quality, right? So all I really need is somebody with your level of knowledge and skill, which is average. You know what to do. Roll the wall twice, cut it in. If we use tape, we use tape. You might take a little long, no problem. Whatever. We're learning our business. And then I find helpers that I put under you. So if you were to work for me right now, and I would make you a project lead, you know how to cut, you know how to spray, you know how to roll. Okay. You might take it, like I said, the only thing is you might take a little longer because you're not like an expert level where you're, but I want you to be the one that communicates with the customer and communicates with me. That's what I'm looking for out of somebody that can run a job. I want communication. I don't want a quiet jerk who's a phenomenal painter. I want somebody that is a decent painter but can communicate well. And then I would find helpers under you and teach them the system. Dude, you can teach anybody who likes to work how to roll a wall. You can teach anybody how to paint on top of caulk and tape and then peel it when they're done. Like that's what I'm saying. The jobs that you take are going to protect the integrity of your system and make it to where your labor pool is wide open because you don't need experienced people. Half of the people I've hired in my company had no painting experience. You know?
Yeah.
So that is a product of a system that is independent of an individual's expertise and skill level. And that's ultimately up to you to create. Painting that room behind you, nice room, got a nice trim, a little bit of, depth right there. Anybody on my crew can paint that. And that's, saying that somebody doesn't even have experience can now paint it because they'll use tape. And the only thing they need to focus on is cutting a straight line on the ceiling, So let's get back to real quick. What your fear is not finding somebody of value in terms of like, how to get this person. It's just in the same way. You probably heard me say the joke that I say about finding a wife, bro. It's like the time that you spend to find this person is ultimately going to give you the result that you want, and having that strategy of finding that person. So there's Craigslist, there's Indeed. I would stay away from Facebook. Those two right there are people that seek for jobs. Remember, Facebook, what are they doing? Hanging out on Facebook. I don't want somebody hanging out on Facebook and then seeing that I'm hiring and saying, you know what? Might be a good idea to get a job, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
I
True.
want somebody that's seeking a job that applies because they know they need a job. Best type of employees are people that are already working for somebody or they just moved into the town. Okay. So keep an eye on that. Very rarely will you find an unemployed individual, find out what the backstory is, So these are some things you'll learn with experience. But you gotta know what you're looking for, bro. Like you have to know, like, number one, you don't need a 20-year veteran to run your jobs. You need somebody with your level of skill, average. Okay. And don't take that the wrong way, bro. I'm just trying to help you get this point.
Yeah.
Average, And guess what I did in the beginning? The person that I brought on as my lead didn't know how to spray. So what would I do? Whenever there was a spraying that needed to be done, I went to the job and did the spraying. And then I left the job when I knew that they can handle everything that was left. Right. So honestly, the easiest thing for you, find somebody that can cut straight lines. If they don't know how to spray, then you do the spraying. Right. And then find somebody with a good personality and then filter out that individual to see, you're going to do a phone interview, in-person interview, check references, look at their social media, whatever you got to do to get a good feel of, is this individual of quality? And then you invite them to a job, a working interview. You know what I'm saying?
Makes sense. I appreciate it, man. It's a lot of good information.
Absolutely, man. That's what I'm here for. So do you have any outstanding questions, man? Or, that I know it's a lot, so, I'm really just trying to give you as much confidence to quit your job. Ultimately, bro, the longer that you wait, it's the more time you have to think and the more responsibility. You got a baby, another baby coming. Your wife's going to probably be freaking out, that you quit. Right. But gotta faith, man. You gotta have a plan, and then you back that plan up with faith and action, dude. That's how you become successful. When I quit my job, I did the same thing you did, bro. I was making 80 grand plus commission as a loan officer a year with full benefits, 401k, I had health insurance, all this stuff. My father was at home. He fell into a relapse. I had my little sister at home. My mother passed away 4 years ago. I was in a college town. I was going to be the corporate trainer. I was getting awards after awards. I thought that was my call. I was moving up the corporate ladder, but I always wanted to own my own business because I just couldn't stand clocking in every day. Okay. Couldn't stand it. I was building somebody else's business. And more importantly, I had a why behind it, and that was to help my family. And it was scary, sucked, trying to battle that decision. But when I did it, I went all in. And it worked for me. And it'll work for you too.
Yeah, man, I appreciate it. Sounds good. There's a lot of good information, a lot of stuff I didn't really think about that put a new perspective on things for me. So I really appreciate it, man.
Yeah, no problem, bro. So, all right, man. Well, when can we expect to hear back from you, man?
As soon as possible, man. I'm going to take your advice, get started on this stuff today, get some things settled down at my day job, and see what Home Advisor is about.
Yeah, hit them up and then hit me up if you have any questions about it, and we'll go from there.
All right, man. Sounds good. Thank you so much.
Bro. Thank you for your time. Hey, man.
Hey, I just want to take a second to thank you for joining me here on the Contractor Secrets podcast. I'm just going to take this opportunity to let you know that my passion is coaching people, helping people. I've changed my Instagram name to @contractorcoach. And I did that because that is my passion. I want to help you. So please reach out to me. If you have an issue going on in your business, send me an email, find me on Instagram, message me, and let's do a breakthrough session. I want to work through your problems in your business to help you get to that next level. And one thing that I always say is this, the difference between those that get over the humps and the hurdles in business is just a change in perspective. And that's what I plan to offer you. So get with me, message me, allow me to help you take your business to the next level.